Hi there, you're welcome again to Nomads. Today I'm going to be telling you a detailed explanation about vocational studies in Spain and how you can use it to move to Spain. You want to watch this video to the end because I am going to be explaining a lot of things that other people would not tell you. Subscribe, like, why we get started. Let's go.
Nomads.
What if I told you there is a faster and more affordable way to move to Spain, gain real world skills, and land a job after your studies without a university degree? You're surprised, right? Let's dive into the video. This is called Formación Profesional. Yes. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know, how it works, how to apply, what to study, and how to go from student to employee legally in Spain. So you don't want to miss out anything. Subscribe right now, hit the notification bell, and let's dive into the video proper. Now let's have an overview of the Spanish vocational education system. The Formación Profesional. Formación Profesional is Spain's vocational education system. Like, it's hands-on, an alternative to university, focused entirely on practical training. Note the keyword: practical training for specific careers. So there are actually two main levels for the Formación Profesional in Spain, which is vocational studies. Number one is the Grado Medio. Forgive my pronunciation, this is it right here. It's the intermediate study level that is great for you if you're just finishing high school, or you don't have a degree yet, or even you have a degree but you actually want to start from this level. It's called the Grado Medio, yes, intermediate level. And we have the Grado Superior, that is a higher level. This is more advanced, more accepted across Europe, and even perfect if you want to consider going into college in the future. And the best part is that these programs are designed with employers, meaning that what you learn is exactly what you do on the job. Yes, what you learn is exactly what the job market needs. Like, you are actually training actively to be employed after graduation. Types of vocational programs available. There are actually hundreds of vocational specialties, from healthcare, IT, tourism, business, audiovisuals, production, automotive mechanics, and hospitality. So some schools actually offer dual programs where you study part-time and work part-time in a real company. That means you are gaining experience while you are studying. And what are the eligibility requirements for international students? To apply, you will need a high school diploma or equivalent. If you're from Nigeria, you can use something like your WAEC, and it must be translated into Spanish. And number two is that you should have a basic knowledge of Spanish, yes, especially for the Grado Medio programs, that is the intermediate program. For the higher level program, some schools actually accept English speaking students, but know that Spanish is actually needed to a certain level. Okay, so what is the application process and required documents? The application process actually varies by region and schools, but in general, what you need is a legalized and translated copy of your document, like I mentioned before, your certificate. So guys, you actually need Spanish to a large extent, or should I say A1 level or A2 level, or sometimes B1 level, depending on the level that you want to study the vocational courses on. Application process varies by region, yes, and some schools in general, you will need a legalized and translated copy of your diploma. Like I mentioned before, you're going to need a proof of Spanish language level, A1, A2, or B1. Okay, sometimes you need a motivational letter, and sometimes there is an entrance exam or an interview prior to you going in. And most applications usually open in the spring and summer, so try to check the link in the description for some schools. Okay, So let's talk about visa process for vocational study. Once you've been accepted into the program, you can apply for student visa. Yes, you're going to use a student visa route to apply to study a vocational course, and that means you are getting an acceptance letter from your school. You're presenting a proof of income, health insurance, a clean criminal record, accommodation details, and note that the visa is actually valid for the length of your course, but then there are ways to actually extend after you study. Now, without talking too much, let's talk about the popular cities for vocational studies. Like, what are some of the best cities that you can actually go for this vocational studies and get a job instantly? We have Barcelona, we have Madrid, we have Valencia. Valencia is actually good in hospitality and tourism. We have Malaga, Sevilla, where you have affordable living and growing education sectors. So each city has its own vibe and job market. So you just have to do your own research and choose based on your career goal. Now, what are the popular vocational courses that can land you a job in Spain? Now, this is the return in investment, right? So, which program can actually lead to jobs? So, there are top vocational paths, and it means that Spain has a labor shortage in these industries, especially care industry, healthcare, IT, hospitality and tourism, hotel management, culinary art, automotive mechanics, digital marketers, e-commerce, construction people, plumbing. I actually made a video on a student visa. If you've not watched it, go and watch it. Okay, digital marketing and e-commerce. We have construction and plumbing. Skilled areas are actually so needed. We have early childhood education, logistics, supply chain, and lots of more industries. You can actually find them here. Okay, so guys, now let's talk about internships and practical training. You've been hearing me saying that actually you're gonna get a job afterwards. Please note that almost every vocational course in Spain includes practical internship or practicals, except it's an online study. So these are often mandatory and arranged by the school. So it involves you working directly with a real company. So many students actually get a job after the internship. So this is like a hands-on experience to make it easier for you to get your work visa later on. And note that not all courses will actually give you internships, so you have to do a proper research and know the courses that will actually lead you to get a job in Spain. Because I remember when I was actually job hunting in Spain, I looked into some vocational courses, and there was a course actually for solar installation, training you. I couldn't do that because it was actually so demanding, and as a woman, should I say a woman, women actually do it, but for me, I can't do such job. So it involves practicals. So if you are somebody that is ready to work practical and gain hands-on experience so that you can get a job afterwards, please look into the course that you are going to be studying. Okay, talk about postgraduate pathways and job search opportunities. Once you graduate, what is next? You have a few options, right? Number one, apply for jobs in your field. Many schools help with job placement. You have to enroll in a higher level course. Yes, when you are enroll for a higher level course, actually, even if you don't get an internship or even an instant job placement, you can actually apply for jobs in your field. So long you went through a vocational course, you are sure to get a job because you have the certificate. The certificate is very respected in Spain. And again, you can even start your own small business. You can even move to work visa. And if you're lucky, an employer can sponsor your work visa and give you permits to work in Spain. And again, you can even use the job seeker visa that is going to launch in May to search for job afterwards. The options are many, guys. Don't sleep on Spain. Spain is here to give you everything on a platter of gold. Now, applying for a work visa. Yes, after your studies, like I mentioned, you can apply for a permit from an employer, or you can use the job seeker visa. Now, what are some accredited schools that you can actually study for vocational studies in Spain? These are some of them. Yes, look at them closely. You can take a screenshot, or you can check the link in the description to direct links on the sites of the school. Okay. And again, if there's something you should know, public vocational schools actually prioritize EU students rather than international students. So sometimes it's best to look at private vocational schools. Okay. So what are the common mistakes to avoid? Now, before you start thinking, wow, this is my golden time and opportunity, avoid these mistakes. Number one, like I mentioned, not researching language requirements. Some programs require Spanish, some require English, and many students realize this too late. So start learning early and applying to schools that are actually accredited. Yes, that's the second point. Accredited schools. You have to look for schools that are actually accredited to give vocational studies, so that your money and your time will not be wasted. I need health insurance. This is mandatory for every visa. For every kind of visa you're applying to Spain, you need a health insurance. Okay guys, now let's talk about recognition of your qualification. Is your certificate only valid in Spain? The professional certificate, the vocational course certificate, is not just valid in Spain. It's part of the European qualification framework, meaning your certificate can be valid in other EU countries. So not only can you work in Spain, you can also work in Germany, France, Netherlands, and beyond, so long you have the higher degree. Remember I told you there are two, the medium and the higher. So if you have a higher degree that is similar to that of a university, it's not a university degree, it's actually an intermediary vocational course. So if you have something like that, you can use it to work anywhere in Europe. Okay, so if you're ready to ditch that university course that you've been planning to study and start gaining real skills in Europe and even get a job afterwards, you can try this. So there you have it, dear friends. This is actually an affordable, legal and fast way to live and study, work in Spain without even spending lots of money on university. I actually made a video on cheap university in Spain. If you want to look at that, you can find it here. So guys, if you're ready to actually begin your journey to Europe and start a new life in Spain, then this is a sign that you need to start your journey. Don't let anything get in the way. If you need private consultations, you can write to me at www.nomas.com. If you've not subscribed to this channel, I am wondering why you haven't by this time, because this is Nomads. Nomads is all about Spain, information about Spain, living, working, and everything you need to know. Share this video to friends, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. I answer the questions that I can in the comments. Thank you for watching. Buena suerte. Good luck in your journey.